Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is a Panther 88. It's a Tier 8 German premium medium tank. It's located on the south spawn of Murovanka and it's under the command of Acheron. And he's got 2 marks of excellence on his barrel already. Well, this is a tank you don't often see replays for. Mainly down to the fact that it's supposed to be a bit of a crap tank. And I don't mean that in a nasty way. It's actually very poor. It doesn't have great performance. It does have an 88mm gun capable of 280 alpha, and with the standard rounds it's capable of penetrating 203mm of armor, and with the premium rounds it goes through 237, and with the HE rounds it'll do 370. It is an 88mm gun. Oh, he actually hit that manticore in the Magic Forest. But he got a low roll, 267. Now, in many ways, people describe this as a poor man's Panther 2, because, of course, the Panther 2 also had an improved gun, a very long gun, actually, and it also had the small turn turret, or at least a new turret. This could be described as the Panther Aslains F, and they first designed it in January 23 of 1945, but it never got put into production. It was only a wooden mock-up of what they were actually going to do, and it was using the small turn turret, which is a very strong turret with extra thick armor at the front, 120mm at the front of the turret. So very, very strong indeed, and able to withstand a fair bit of damage, or at least a fair number of shots from enemy tanks. Now, one of the reasons why it isn't a great medium tank is down to the speed, actually. It's very slow, 46 kilometers an hour forward, 20 in reverse. And he gets a lovely hit there on the Hawk 30, gets a high roll, and he gets another one, which is a low roll, 270. In the hands of the right person, this tank can actually be quite deadly, but you have to use it as a tank destroyer more than a medium tank. It's not a flanking tank at all. It's not the sort that would run around the battlefield shooting the enemy from different directions. You have to play this one from the back and try and hope that you can use your gun depression to actually damage the enemy. To say, it does have gun depression. It's only 8 degrees, unfortunately. 13 degrees of elevation as well. But it actually does have a very good gun. The gun is very capable. Okay, A phase 1. Yes, nice shot there. Got a high roll for 309. Now, it is another tall tank as well. The Panthers were tall in many ways, which meant they were spotted. But at the start, when they first came out, they relied upon the fact that they did have the angled armor to bounce the shots. But towards the end of the war, they knew how to cope with that angled armor and to actually get shots that would penetrate the Panther. And so what they did instead is they increased the amount of armor that was on the Panthers to stop them getting taken out. Now, that IS-2 wandered a little too far forward, but he get a low roll for 253. First shot was a nice center mass penetration. Second one didn't work. I think that IS-2 is, well, he's not playing it very well. He keeps poking up, trying to get the cupolas. Didn't work there. In the hands of the right person, this tank can actually be quite powerful. Ooh. Now he's looking for a penetrating shot. Yeah, he gets it there on the body. Much better off on the body than you are on the turret of that. Even with only 8 degrees of gun depression, you've got a very good situation here. And he does get that one through, and it's a high roll, 281. Now, the enemy does seem to have an advantage at the moment. Our M6Y, well, he's down to very few hit points left. Oh, well, we hit the tracks of the Object Treble 7, and our M6Y is now in a lot of trouble because he's down to a one-shot. Most of those tanks can take him out. The A phase one's trying to come around the other side. Oh, and our Cobra wants that one as well. We failed to get him, but the Cobra does. So he did get the shot, even though we rubbed up against him. At this phase in the battle, it really doesn't matter if you take out a tank that's actually on its last legs, but that Cobra was actually very helpful at that point. He made sure that that guy went down, even if we didn't get our shot in, he did. Okay, Scorpion takes one. It's a high roll, 293. We did lose the M6Y. Whilst we were focusing on the A phase one, the enemy took him out. That Scorpion's on his last legs as well now. I think he's overdone it. He's overcooked it. He's gone too far. And now he's reached the point, yep, he got taken out by the Waffenträger, who's fallen back to actually provide almost a traditional tank destroyer role from the back of the map. And this is where the turret comes in. Look at that, he just blocked a shot from the IS-22. Yep, blocked it off the gun, off the mantlet. And again, he's blocking shots quite nicely. And again, yep, he's blocking them like a champion. Okay. And he's blocked on both sides of the turret as well. You can see the small turn turret, of which there is only one example, and I think it's at the Tank Museum. The Waffenträger's telling him to pull back. I think he knows what he's doing here. This guy really does know what he's doing, and he's quite happy to sit this position. The Waffenträger's sitting at the back providing support. The Cobra went all the way up to the middle line to actually see if he can get a shot. We're one down on the enemy at the moment. They seem to have the advantage, but I'm not so sure it will stay that way. Our Manticore is moving through the Magic Forest, and he hasn't found the enemy tanks that were there, and I think that's because they've come over to this side. Okay, the Udes at a distance, couldn't get the shot in. He's going to give it another go. Oh, he does get that one in a high roll, 286. Whilst he's waiting for these guys to make up their mind, he might as well shoot at the enemy if they present themselves. Waffenträger's relocating. Nice. And good communication between the members. It's nice to know that they do know what the buttons are for, because even if it's only brief statements, and he does say as well, he's still there. He's watching for particular enemies. He knows they're there, but they're trapped. Now he bounced that one off the Object Treble 7-2, but the Cobra seems to have got something. He's lost a fair amount of hit points, that Cobra, but he is useful. And yes, that IS-22 is trapped, and he got wiped out. The Waffenträger got him. And that means now there's only the E75 in the middle. And we can see he moved over to the other side. I think that may have been to try and get the Cobra, but the Cobra's coming up this side now. Okay, so we went out wide. Remember, we're looking for those enemy tanks that were actually on the other side of the battlefield, and now they've moved over. Cobra's found the E75, didn't like what he saw. Object Treble 7's come around too. And we can see a Barask as well off to our left. Okay, so how's he going to play this? I'd go for the Object Treble 7, but he actually sees the target of opportunity, the Udes, and he puts the round into him and gets a high roll. Okay, Object Treble 7 only shows the top of his turret for the moment. E75 is just around the corner, but I think he's moved back. So we're looking to see if we can put a round into him. The Waffenträger will keep that Barask at bay, just in case. You know, he tries to snap, doesn't work. Okay, so he needs a distraction. The Cobra can distract the E75, and he should be able to come around and pump around into his rear. The Object Treble 7 version 2 has still got most of his health. But if we can actually get round... There's the Barask. Now, he's a problem. But, oh, he goes down easily to the Cobra, who actually comes up onto the corner, sees him side on. And now the Cobra's distracted. E75's distracted. One shot to the back of his turret, and he's out the game. But we did take one round from the Udes, who was looking for revenge. And now the Object Treble 7 thinks he's got an advantage, which of course he hasn't. He does get one shot into us, but we're only down to half our hit points. And now he can pull back and use that wreck for cover. Or he's decided to pull back a bit further and use the ground for cover as well, which forces the Object 777 to come round after him. And if he does come, he is coming, the Waffenträger or the Cobra are going to get a free shot. And he gets one shot in, and the Cobra nails him. Okay, we took a hit, and we're one shot, but he was out the game, and now there's only one enemy left. It's the Udas, and he's very low on hit points, and he's taken out by the Cobra, and that is the end of the game. Well, that was an amazing battle, showing how the Panther 88 with the L71 gun can be very effective if it's used more like a tank destroyer than a medium. That was a third mark of excellence. Congratulations to Acheron for getting his third mark in this vehicle. It's a difficult vehicle to play. He got an ace tanker out of that game as well. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 7. 5 for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. And he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. What a show, what a performance. Let's have a look at team score. Well, you can see that he did get the highest damage in this game by playing it as a tank destroyer rather than as a medium. He managed to get 4,363 hit points, but it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool, and that's why he didn't get the high caliber. The second highest damage went to the Waffenträger of Panzer IV, who did 4,035 hit points. And in third place was the Manticore on their team. Yes, he was still alive at the end of the game. He got 3,207 hit points of damage out of it. The highest scoring performer on the enemy team was their Udas 03, got 3,120. When it came to kills, it was the Cobra who did the best. 4 kills to him. Very well done. 3 kills went to the Manticore, and 2 kills went to the Waffenträger, the Conqueror, and of course Acheron, and also the Striv 103B and their A Phase 1 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, it was Acheron. Yes, 1,420 to him, 1,122 went to the Manticore, and 967 went to the Waffenträger. He fired 34 shots in that game, 21 direct hits, 16 penetrations. You can see why he was using the premium ammo. He was definitely trying his best to score as much damage as he could to get that third mark of excellence. 4,363 hit points of damage, the highest damage in the game, so obviously it paid off using the premium rounds. You also did 1,362 of that at more than 300 meters. In fact, some of the shots were almost from one end of the battlefield to the other, or at least as far as he could see, because of course he was shooting at that Udas at very long range. He received 6 hits from the enemy, only 3 of which actually penetrated, and most of those were towards the end of the game, where the Object 777 version 2 was able to get an easy shot into him at fairly close range, but a lot of rounds bounced off. 3 rounds bounced off, and you saw the marks on the turret that the IS-22 was having a lot of difficulty trying to get any of those rounds to actually hit and stick. Mainly down to the fact that the Schmaltern turret is very thick at the front. As I said, it's 120 millimeters at the front of the turret. And yes, even if you try and hit it flat on and use a heat round, it's still going to have difficulty. 900 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 9 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 kills, so there's the 7 for the Confederate, and 432 hit points of damage assistance or spotting. Now, he did end up with a loss out of this game, 13,017 credits loss, but that's acceptable considering you're trying to 3-mark it. It was a huge amount of cost on the auto resupply of ammunition because, of course, he used the premium rounds, but he did do very well when it came to actual credits for the battle on a premium count. He also managed to earn 3,408 XP from the game as well. And I'm sure now he will be switching to standard ammunition rather than using the premium all the time, even though, well, I suppose he is getting great results with the premium, so you might as well stick with it. But congratulations on getting your 3rd mark of excellence. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.